Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Tuesday tip call. It is a anomaly this week because it is me by myself, me, myself, and I, and all of you amazing people that are joining me tonight. I am appreciative of those that are joining me here live on Zoom, as well as those of you that are joining us here on the Facebook group. Tonight we have a special replay that we're going to be doing with Eric Worre. He gave some great information last night, and I wanted to make sure that everybody had the opportunity to check it out. So I'm going to run through some announcements really fast. This call is same time, same place every single week. So make sure that you have it in your calendar, save the Zoom ID and the passcode, and of course, make sure that you're subscribed to the Team Freedom Reigns YouTube channel. You can do that through the QR code on the screen right now. When you do that, make sure that you hit for the notifications. So every time we upload new content, you get that. All right, quickly, the week at a glance. We have got everything as normal. Make sure that you go and check out the Monday Momentum email that came out yesterday. There's all kinds of information in there. I am not going through it all this week because we have got the amazing Eric Worre that we're going to be sharing a recording of a training he did last night. So make sure that you go and check out all of those announcements. This week's Why LifeVantage Why Now presentation is going to be done by Sonia. She is an MC3, so an up and coming leader here at LifeVantage. Every Wednesday night, there is a presentation you can plug into, so make sure you do that. Not sure if you guys saw it or not. If not, you got to know about the flash sale that just started today. It's going through the end of the month. It's where you can get up to 30% off. Yes, 30% off of some of our most popular products. Not all of them. It does not include our activators. It does not include collagen, Protandim, or the mind body system, but it does include everything else, just not in the stacks. Okay. So up to 30% off, that means that 30% off of one-time retail orders. So if you have someone that just wants to try some of the products, they're not your customer yet, they just want to buy retail, they get 30% off. And then for any customer or consultant, you can purchase for 20% off the subscription order. So all of the products that are listed on this slide are in the flash sale. Again, it goes through the end of the month, March 31st. And it's a great time to take advantage of that flash sale and get that extra 20% off of Axio before the price increase that starts on April 1st. Plus the tub, if you like it for the lemonade, make sure that you get yours purchased because it is going to be gone starting April 1st. We are going to have it in stick packs, and there is going to be an increase to Axio. So make sure you get some stocked up right now before the end of the month, because not only can you get it for the lower price, but you can also get it for that extra 20% off of the subscription price if you order it before the end of March. It is the last week of the month. Today's the 25th, and so everybody's subscription should have ran. So now you can make sure that you finish the month strong by utilizing the member summary reports in your back office. Make sure that you're checking for unsuccessful subscriptions, checking to see who's getting close to being a higher seller level than they were last month, or even just close to the seller level for this month. Make sure that they know how far away they are. And then, of course, be checking for anybody that is close to being a next rank advancer. We want to make sure that everybody is getting those rank advancements. And final reminder, guys, we are like 3 weeks away from 4 weeks away from Global Convention. You do not want to miss this event. This event is going to kickstart your business, and it is going to give you everything that you need to be able to drive and accelerate in your business growth through the rest of 2025. If you're not registered, please get registered. Get yourself your, however you're going to get there, whether you're driving together, carpooling, or you are flying. Make sure that you get everything taken care of and commit to this, because it is going to change the trajectory of your business. Okay, so this is something that they announced last week. The double sharing bonus. This only goes through the end of March. So a sharing bonus is a bonus that new consultants get to participate in their first full 3 months or 90 days of their business. So this is an opportunity for you to kind of get a restart in your business and participate in the sharing bonus by getting at least 300 in new sales volume that you sell to customers or consultants, and then you will be eligible for a double sharing bonus for April, May, and June. So you will not only get to participate in the double bonus again, or the sharing bonus again as a consultant if you've been here for a while, but you'll actually get double sharing bonus, all by enrolling 300 in new sales volume before the end of the month. Totally doable, especially with those amazing flash sale opportunities that we have going on. So make sure that you are reaching out to your current customers, your old customers, the consultants on your team, everybody that you know. Make sure that you are sharing that with them. All right, guys, so here we are to the topic of the call. And the reason why I wanted to run through those announcements super fast is because we are going to be going to a recording of a training that Eric Worre did last night on Sean and Michelle Poe's team call. They invited us on there. Some of us hopped on, but not very many of our team did. So I wanted to make sure you had the opportunity to hear his wisdom, because he shares these 3 ideas that will change your life and your business. So let me stop this share and get us sharing into the new. Let me find the one that I want. Just be patient with me here, and it will be here soon. Don't you love it when there's so many windows? Oh, there it is. Let me make sure that you guys are going to be able to see this before I get it started. All right, do you guys see Eric Worre on the screen? I'm looking. Oh, it's actually Michelle Poe that you're seeing there. All right, so let me go ahead. I'm going to do one thing before I start this. I have to make sure that I am sharing the sound. Okay, perfect. All right, perfect. All right, here we go. Okay, so first of all, I hope you have a pen and paper. I hope you're ready to take some notes. And I hope that you're willing to be a little bit patient tonight on this call, because this is going to be a little bit longer. It is going to be an amazing thing for you to be able to come back to and to take additional notes in the future. But listening to Eric Worre, because this could be exactly what you have been needing to be able to really launch your business, okay?
Imagine making $453,000 in a single month as an affiliate marketer without relying on
ads.
Thank you to Kenneth Copeland Ministries for sowing the airtime for this broadcast.
That's not the right one. So let me go and find it again here quickly, because unfortunately, all the best laid plans can be messed up in 2 seconds when you get onto Zoom Live, right? So let me find this here again. And I appreciate your patience, guys.
Has been the mentor for us all these years, and just please listen to him, because we're able to turn things immediately. We have the pain, Sean has the pain, but then it becomes, we can get through this. We can get through this, through the pain and also all the other things. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. That's just a lot on my heart, Eric. You're like, who's the guest here? Who's talking tonight, Michelle? Right, Eric?
I don't mind a bit.
Eric Worre.
Hey, I don't mind at all. Here, I will tell you. Let me tell you why I'm here. Yeah, all the things she said. But Sean and Michelle are a couple of my favorite people on earth. So, bright, shiny people. When they walk in the room gets a little brighter. You know what I mean? Sometimes when people walk in the room, things get a little bit more dull. I used to be one of those people. I'd walk in the room, everybody's like, is there a cloud? What's going on? And then I realized that didn't pay me very well to do that. And I finally had to learn to brighten up a bit. But I will tell you, what she says is true. And again, you're going to have to go to your company as far as what you can say as far as claims are concerned.
Yeah.
But when they told me, I hold on. You're telling me that Protandim, this product, is clinically proven to extend life. That's a fact. That's a clinical thing. Yes. Done. No more pitch. I don't need any more pitch. Just how much is it, and sign me up. I'm good. So it's some people were like, well, sometimes you just can't tell the difference right away. So I didn't need to tell the difference right away. When I take vitamin D, I don't tell the difference right away. I know I'm supposed to take it. You know what I mean? It's just come on, pretty simple. And then the new products you guys have released recently, obviously it's going very, very well. Congratulations on all that. Innovation inside the company, a lot of good things going on, but good people, right? It's there's a benefit to being able to work with good people. because it's not for everybody. Sometimes you have to work with people. You get a cubicle or an office next to somebody, and that is like your sentence that you have to go sit next to every day, all day. If like, I'm glad that I became kind of unemployable a long time ago, because when you watch a movie like Office Space, anybody ever seen that movie? When you see the people working inside that office, and people repeating the same things every day, and people saying, "Did you get the memo about the TPS reports?" And 14 different bosses and all the different kinds of stuff. It is so accurate, right? And people inside of working as employees, you're stuck in this thing where your employer is paying you just enough to keep you from quitting. You're working just hard enough so you don't get fired, and it's this big trade-off, right? You're like trading time for money, but you're paying the bills and all that stuff. And I'm not begrudging a job. There's something to be said to taking care of your family. But when you find out that there's other ways, that one, you can go from working for somebody else to working for yourself. That's a good trade. If you make the same money, work for yourself, be your own boss. Cool. That's a good trade. Even if you're trading time for money inside of LifeVantage, fine. It's better than reporting to somebody else and doing things you don't want to do all day. But then being able to build a network and build a business, having that capability where you can create some leverage. Because, you can't get wealthy without leverage. It's impossible. Can't do it. You can't trade time for money, no matter how much you're getting paid, to get wealthy. I'll correct that. Well, no, I won't correct that. I was just going to say, well, if you're like, like Cristiano Ronaldo or Tom Brady or something, but still, they're trading time for money on one side, and the other side is they're getting leverage on their brand. All those people buying tickets, all those people buying jerseys, all those people coming to games, all those people. They're not just going out there and providing some simple service, right? So the good thing about our business, this profession, is there's no limit to how far you can go. And if you use first principles, and I'm a big fan of first principles, which says if you can do it once, you should be able to do it 5 times. You can do it 5 times, you should be able to do it 500 times. If you can add one person to your team, you can add 10. If you can add 10, you can add 100. And that's just personally. And what if you could teach them to do the same? And what if you could teach that group to do the same? Now you're talking about leverage on leverage on leverage. You get one form of leverage when you sell a product and then they continue to reorder. My mom is a distributor. She's the one who signed me up as a customer in LifeVantage. So guess what? Every month there's a little commission going to my mom. Every month for I don't know how many years now. So that's one form of leverage, right? Sell it once, get paid over and over and over. Have you ever worked in retail? Anybody ever worked in retail? Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever worked in retail. Bunch of you. How many of you are still getting paid on something you sold, back when you were in retail? Anybody? No, of course not. You're not going to get paid. It seems ridiculous, right? It's assumed here. It's ridiculous there. You wouldn't do it. None of those retail places would pay you over and over and over again for selling one time. That's ridiculous trade. You get that trade here. The company takes care of it all. Second form of leverage is you can involve as many people on your team as you want. So here's the power of this. Like if you're building part-time, let's say you have 10 hours a week. That's all you have. But you're going to give it a real 10 hours. Great. How can you get 1,000 hours being worked a week on your behalf? What if you get 10 people to each work 10 hours a week? That's 100. They each get 10 people. That's 1,000 plus 100 plus your 10. Now it's 1,110 hours being worked on your behalf. Their behalf too, but you're going to get credit for it. Can you get 10,000 hours a week being worked for you? Biggest organization I built was between 500,000 and 600,000 people in 63 countries. Take 500,000 times 10 hours. I mean, we're a business of a lot of people doing a little bit. Few people doing more than a little, and even fewer people doing a lot. But those that do, I fell in love with leverage. I fell in love with, and then there's even a higher form of leverage than that, right? Leverage on selling, leverage on recruiting, leverage on duplication. And then you can take the income that you create from your LifeVantage business and you can invest it and get it to work for you in whatever way that you choose to invest your money. But if you do this right, in the next 5 years, certainly the next 10, you should be making more from the income of your investments than you are from the income from your monthly commissions. Now we're talking about different levels of freedom. You're talking about where you'd like to go, different places. I've been to, fun fact, every state in the United States except one. I haven't been to Alaska, and I have reasons. I have a couple family members up there. I just haven't made it up there to Alaska. And I don't know how many countries around the world, but were it not for network marketing, I probably would be Minnesota and Mexico for spring break, and that would be it. That would be basically the extent, or Canada, go up to Canada, go visit my friends in Canada. But that's basically it. Now I've been able to see the world. It's really cool. I would recommend it. I would recommend, taking that bucket list and turning it into reality. You have the tool to be able to do it. So I want to talk to you a little bit about mindset and a little bit about how to win no matter what, how to be stronger than your circumstance. Okay. And I'm going to talk to you for maybe, 20 minutes or so. And then what I'd like to do, because I think it might be interesting, is open it up for questions. If you have any question about building your network marketing business or getting mentally stronger, think about that question, okay? And we'll let you ask it. And sometimes interesting things can come out of a Q&A. Maybe deepens a message a little bit. So when I first got involved in network marketing, I was nobody's prize. I had 18 jobs by the time I was 23 years old. I was a C- graduate average in high school. I was, for you teachers out there, apologies for all the people that I represent. I was the bottom 20% of my class. I did okay on tests. I never did homework. I really struggled with 20 or 30 minutes of one topic, and then 20, 30 minutes of another topic, and then 20, 30 minutes of another topic. If they would have done like 90 days of mathematics, 90 days of science, 90 days of history, 90 days of English, I'd have been in. But all that fragmented stuff, my brain just couldn't connect with it. I really struggled. So I did everything you can do for minimum wage, I think, in the country. I did everything you can do at a restaurant. I've done all the manual labor jobs. I did all this stuff. Last job I had before network marketing was selling real estate. Only reason I was doing that because my dad had a little real estate office and he needed somebody to get a license in order to show the houses that him and his partner had. So I got my license and off I went. I got introduced to network marketing, right? And I'll give you my first lesson. This was a long time ago. Okay, I started in January 1988. Long time ago. And back in those days, it was $5,000 to join. Have you ever heard of like the front end loading days where people would get a garage full of stuff? I was selling water filters, and $5,000 bought you 40 water filters. And you could sell those water filters and make a retail profit. Okay, great. So I sign up. Only reason I signed up is because my dad and his partner were involved, and my dad loaned me the money. And I didn't want to get left behind. So I get started, right? But because of that big package, if you sign somebody up, you could make like $1,200 all the way up to like $2,000 on their $5,000 order. Okay? So my very first month, I got lucky because I borrowed the credibility of other people that were involved, and my first month's check was $7,400. I spent it all, every penny, plus a little, and I was already in debt. My second month, I made $12,211. and I quit every other form of income. I quit all. I quit real estate. I gave away my listings. I gave away my clients. I'm like, I've hit the lottery. This is going to go amazing. And I go full time. Full time. Let's go. I win. My third month's check was $1,098.60. And my first lesson was this: you cannot out earn yourself. I was still a minimum wage person. And you might be in the right place at the right time. You got momentum right now. I mean, all you got to do is be in conversation with people, and you're going to sell product. You got hot stuff. All you got to do is be busy, and people will join. But if you don't grow to the level of your check as a person, the check's going to come back down to the level of person you are. I would love to tell you, I've coached about 1,000 people to $1 million a year or more in network marketing. I would love to tell you that they are all there still, but some of them did not grow to the income. And they got there and they thought they had arrived, and they stopped developing themselves, they stopped growing, they stopped learning, and the income came back down to who they were. Some of them had the guts to, hey, and it's not too bad to go from $1 million down to like 600,000. Okay, it's fine. But once you've been at $1 million, 600,000 is like poor, just so you understand. Any of you have ever been at your peak income and you're still wanting to get back there? I'm guessing. If your peak income is any other time of your life, you're like, anything that's below that is kind of unacceptable. So I wanted to quit so bad when I got the third month's check. I mean, I blamed my upline wasn't helping me. I blamed the company. They didn't provide any training. I blamed the fact that I was young. I didn't have a college degree. Nobody take me seriously. I lived in Minnesota. It was impossible to build in Minnesota because either people are freezing or they're at the lake in the summer. I mean, I blamed everything. The economy. Blamed everything. But big problem. Blaming other people wasn't helping my income. And I needed to make money because I spent everything that I made. And I'm now full time. And probably had the greatest gift of my life. Well, that's a big statement, but one of the greatest gifts is I had nowhere to go. It was so great. Some of you have so many options. You've got income. You're fine. You're fine. If you don't go build your LifeVantage business this month, you're going to be fine. You're going to have a roof over your head. You're going to have clothes on your back. You're going to have food in your belly. Your kids are going to be okay. Your family's going to be fine. You're not living the life that you want, but you could survive without LifeVantage. Yeah. I couldn't survive without going back to the thing that I was mad at. I was so grateful that the doors were closed to me. I had this gift of desperation, and all the doors were welded shut, except one. Network marketing, which I was mad at. So, I mentally quit, quickly realized the only way out is through, and put my work clothes on and went to work. And I had a person pass me my first introduction to personal development outside of my spiritual upbringing with my family. I will tell you, I got passed an audio cassette. Some of you remember audio cassettes of a bootleg talk from Jim Rohn where he was speaking to a Shockley convention. And somebody handed me this cassette, and I listened to this thing, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I can hear what I can do. He talked about the seed and the sower, this parable of the sower had good seed, put it down there. It didn't produce all the time, but when it did, if the sower kept sowing the seed, eventually results were going to show up. And all these other lessons. I listened to that thing 100 times. And I got my first introduction to personal development, and it was this. He says in this little audio cassette that his mentor told him, for things to change, Mr. Rohn, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. Success is not out there. Success is in here. And I heard that. I'm like, oh, man. All right. If things are going to change for me, I have to change. So, one, it worked for me to just, that little phrase served me so well. And two, guess what I could do with that little phrase? The next day after I heard it for the first time, I was with a prospect and they're saying, I don't know. I'm not sure, And I said, can I tell you what one of my mentors told me yesterday? He said, sure. He told me for things to change, you got to change. And for things to get better, you got to get better. Success is not out there. Success is in here. And the guy said, you know what? You're right. Sign me up. Let's do this. And I went, no. Really? I could just take what I heard on this audio and I could turn it into money? I can get a raise in one day? Take that phrase and bring it to the post office. See how much they're going to pay you extra if you're working at the post office. Nothing. But here, I'm like, I have to get me some more of those phrases. I got to learn some of these things in order to be stronger than my circumstance. Okay. So I started reading, I started listening, I started developing me. And so many of the foundational things for changing me, I found with Jim Rohn as a beginner. He started it for me. He said, if you want to improve your life, you have to improve the people you spend time with. Hard one. This was one of the hardest ones to really focus on. You will become who you hang around. You are not more powerful than the influence of other people around you. I don't care how strong you are, they will influence you. For sure. So if you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, I did a little audit of that. He said, you'll become the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. I'm like, oh, no, come on. He said, take their income. I took the 5 people and I took their income. I divided it by 5. I went, oh, that's about where I'm at. He said, if the income's higher, be happy because they're going to pull you up. If the income's the same, be worried. If the income's lower than you, be very, very afraid because you will become the average over time. You'll think how they think, go where they go, do what they do, eat what they eat, smoke what they smoke, say what they say. So he gave me a little formula. Formula number 1, if you're not happy with your life, first step number 1 is you have to change your associations because this is one of the laws of association, which is one of the laws of success in life. Step 1 is to limit your association with negative people. You have to put people into 2 categories. Are they pushing you towards your potential or are they distracting you from your potential? Some are actively discouraging you from your potential, but you've been friends with them forever. They're planting seeds of doubt in you every time they talk to you, but you've been family since you were born. So I'm like, okay. And I said, I'm thinking, what does that mean? He said this. He said, if you used to spend two hours with somebody who's limiting your potential or distracting you from your potential, if you used to spend 2 hours, spend 2 minutes. Be busy so you don't have time to hang around. Because I would consider myself a reasonably positive person, and I get around some people and their gossips, and I'd be just joining right in the gossip within 5 minutes, 10 minutes. They'd have me joining in, joke, ha ha. Pretty soon I've lost 2 hours of my life, and I've lost my focus. So limit your association with people who are either distracting you from your purpose or discouraging you from your purpose. Spend less time. Second, this was the hardest one, was disassociate. with some people. There are some people that the price of their relationship with you is the sacrifice of your life. Not to be too heavy, but it's real. How many movies do you have to see where you're just seeing this hero and the hero has no shot at life if they stay friends with that person? You see it in the movie. It's obvious. But it's in our movie of our life, and we're like, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings. This one was so hard. Some people I'd been hanging out with, they were part of my DNA. But that part of my DNA was the part that was keeping me as a minimum wage person. I remember I grew up in small town, and my dad started a church camp in like northern Minnesota, central Minnesota. And we lived there for a while, and there was another kid who was my age that moved to that camp with our family. Okay? And when we moved down to the big Twin Cities, we moved down to Minneapolis, St. Paul. He moved down with his family. I moved down with my family. I found myself in a suburb, which was, you know, a safe little suburb in west part of the of the Twin Cities, out by the lakes, you know, lower middle class. But he found himself in South Minneapolis, which was a very difficult neighborhood. I became the product of my environment. His environment was filled with gangs. And guess what? He used his initiative to end up being the number one leader of the Vice Lords, which is one of the most violent gangs in the United States. And we did this. We're going down this path. I moved to this neighborhood. He moved to that neighborhood. Add 3-4 years. I went one way, he went another. What if it was reversed? Oh my God. Because what was his path other than entrepreneurship in that environment? That's what it was. He ended up doing 20 years in prison. And I'm in this little protected little bubble of a suburb. I think about that often. These little paths, you know, getting protected with your environment. You'll become a product of your environment, of the inputs in your mind and the influences around you. So some people, I'm not saying take it lightly, but please do not sleep on this idea of disassociating if this person is discouraging you from your purpose or influencing you in a bad way. It's so hard to do, but it's so important. Now, I learned a little trick. I never told people, look, I'm disassociating with you. I just would be so busy I didn't have time. I'd just be busy in other directions. So I wasn't mean about it. But sometimes you have to unfriend people in real life. It's not just a social media thing. Sometimes you have to block people in real life. It's not just spammers, but it's people who are influencing you in a very negative way. And if you don't like where your life is, something's got to change. I'll give you another example of what's happening with me in real life. See this little Whoop band? I don't know, any of you have a Whoop? This tracks your sleep, it tracks your resting heart rate, tracks your strain, aura. All right, I've got a Whoop, right? And I'm in a group of people, and we're in this little accountability group, and it shares their results. And it sucks because I'm the worst of all of them. They all sleep better than me. They all have better strain than me. They all have lower resting heart rates than me. I've only been in this group for like 10 days. But right before this, I was in the gym because I'm not going to be last today. I'm not doing it. You know, no shot. These guys are not, I mean, who has a resting heart rate of 45? Stop it. It's stupid. So anyway, I'm like, I can't just live. I got to do some cardio. And I got to get to bed a little earlier, and I got to get a better routine. And what's happening? I'm becoming people I'm hanging around with. So they're going to pull you in a direction or they're going to push you down one way or the other. So the third part, so limit your associations with some, disassociate with others. What does this have to do with building a LifeVantage business? Everything. Everything. Let me give you the third tip for your associations is expand your association with positive people. Expand your association with people who are encouraging you, who are pushing you, who won't let you play small, who see more in you, who believe in you, who are stronger than you. And I'll give you a tip on this because here's you know what the challenge is? Some people like to do this little training. Oh, go buy a millionaire lunch. Good luck. Guess what? You know what millionaires are trying to do? Limit their association with you. They can't afford you in their circle because you're going to bring the average down. I mean, if they go to lunch with you, even if you're buying lunch, they're lowering their average. They understand this. So I went to go to all the most successful people and said, hey, can I buy you lunch? Can I pick your brain? And they're like, I'm like, So I found out that I could have the best mentors in the world, and they couldn't stop me. So we've seen too many movies where Denzel Washington adopts the kid next door and helps him become a champion or something because he literally talks to him all day, every day. And that's not how mentorship works. It just isn't. Jim Rohn was my number one mentor. And here's why. Here's why virtual is better than a physical mentor. Let's say Jim Rohn was friends of our family. And my mom and dad said, hey, would you help Eric out? He needs some help. He's a C- student. He's got 18 jobs. We want him to be a productive member of society. Would you please coach him a bit? And let's say Jim Rohn said, sure, I'd love to coach the kid. He comes over, sits on the couch. He gives me 3 hours. I'm taking notes. I get a selfie. And he leaves. Amazing, life-changing experience, right? Can I ask him to come back and do it tomorrow? Same thing? Can I ask him to come back once a week, for the next year? Could I ask him to come back ever and do that same presentation again? Probably not, right? But after I found that little audio cassette, I got this audio album. I don't have it here, but it's called The Challenge to Succeed. It was 3 hours long, and I could listen to it 1,000 times. I got 3,000 hours of Mr. Rohn, not 3. So expand your association with positive people. What I heard from a few of my mentors, it's better that your best friends are books, audio programs, events, than the wrong people. You're lonely? Find some friends in a book. You're lonely? Listen to the right podcast. You're lonely? And here's what's so great. Inside of network marketing, we're surrounded by people who want to see us win, that care about us. And I found out this. If you go upline, chances are pretty good that you'll find somebody, if you're willing, hungry, and coachable enough, that will pour themselves into you. Or even better, what's better than a great upline? A cross-line friend. It's true. I'm telling you that there's some weirdness in the upline downline relationship sometimes. You know what I mean? A little resentment here, you're helping me there, or you're not giving me enough help over here, whatever, all that stuff. But some of my best relationships were cross-line people. We didn't have any financial connection with each other, but we kind of were like workout buddies. I'd encourage you to find a workout buddy. Find somebody who will not let you play small. Find somebody the equivalent of being in their Whoop group with them, and your stats are available for everybody to see. My resting heart rate yesterday was 70. Are you kidding me? But I'll tell you right now. Right now, I got my little thing. Let me look it up. Right now on strain, I'm in third place. And I'm close. Oh my God, I'm close. First place has 14.1 in strain. Second place has 13.0. I have 12.6. So I could be number one. If I finish this Zoom and I go back in there, just for a little more, I could be number one. Stick it all in their face. Suckers. Recovery yesterday, I was 8th place. And I exaggerated my resting heart rate. It was 73. Number one, Laura, has a resting heart rate of 52. Number two at 49 with an HRV of 50. Are you kidding me? Shut up. Accountability, a group of people that'll push you, right? I wouldn't have been in the gym earlier today. I've been in there twice already. And now I have a reason to go in the third time so I get number one. So they don't go on a midnight little sprint on me and beat me again. Get in a group that pushes you. Some of you need to be pushed on your recruiting. You need to be pushed on your team building. You need to be pushed on your own fitness. I will tell you, every single one of you, you want to absolutely change your LifeVantage business? Be the brand. You be the brand. Be a physical representation of what the company represents. You do it. I've just gone on that journey the last 3 years. I've had 50 years of neglect. Okay, so wherever you're at in the journey, I'm just saying it'll change the whole vibe. So, one, you only make what you are, and there's no limit to how much you can become. Two, your associations really, really matter. Expand your association with positive and protect yourself from anything distracting or negative. If it's destructive, you cannot afford it. How quickly should you disassociate from somebody who is actively trying to hurt your business? How quickly? Like 5 minutes ago? Got to happen fast. And you don't have to tell them. Just be busy. Gosh, I haven't talked to you. Yeah, so much going on. Catch up later. Got to go. Hard, but important. Another part of mindset for me, and I think our business kind of encourages this. Not encourages, it's the wrong thing, but it leads to this. It's what I call minimum disease. We have these little products with a little price of entry, and it only costs us a little bit to start. And pretty soon people are saying, what's the minimum I have to do to qualify? What's the minimum number of lines I have to get to that next rank? What's the minimum? What's the minimum? What's the minimum? It's an absolute wrong thinking. You need to be thinking, what's the maximum allowable? What can I do? Versus, what's the minimum I have to do? Can you see how one is going to absolutely put a ceiling on you and the other one is going to take you to another level? Let's say Jeff Bezos had your distributorship, and that was the only way he could make money is by growing it. He didn't have Amazon. He just had his brain. What do you think he'd be thinking? Like you are? Or maybe a little bigger. Probably a little bigger. Like how many people, how could we serve these customers? How many lines could we start? How many countries can we be operating in? How many six-figure earners and seven-figure earners can we create? How fast can we do it? How radical can we be as far as creating an amazing customer experience? What can we do? How fast should we get this done? How many people should we bring to the convention? How much room do they have should be the question. Not, you shouldn't have somebody challenging you to do more. If anybody's ever challenging you to do more, You've got a form of minimum disease. You should have people say, oh my gosh, slow down, take it easy. Don't listen to that, but I'm just saying, you're going to have one of the two conversations going on. So, and this is a network marketing thing, minimum disease. And it comes from that minimum qualification. What's the minimum? Like, how many lines do you have to have, sponsorship lines, in order to be able to get to the top rank in your company? How many? 3?
3.
Yeah. So how many of you have only built 3? Can you build 4? Will they allow it?
Oh yeah.
Unlimited.
Okay.
Unlimited
Yeah,
wide.
all right. Could you do 30?
Yep.
Why are you sitting thinking about 3? Because they said that's the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
So we get sucked into this little trap, versus saying, hey, I'm going to go after this. I'm going to really do it, right? Being honest with myself and going after it. So that was helpful for me. And I want to give you something that helped me become bulletproof. I'll give you the secret for me to being unstoppable. I'll give you the punchline, and then I'll tell you how I got there. Be willing to put yourself in risky and humiliating, potentially humiliating situations and deal with it. That's it. Be willing to take a risk of being embarrassed. Be willing to take a risk of being humiliated. Be willing to take a risk of being rejected, and just put a smile on your face. Don't treat yourself so seriously. Oh my gosh. So somebody said no. Big deal. Means nothing. Means nothing. Our job is to educate people. If they don't take that education and do something with it, that's on them. It's not on you. And you might have heard me tell this story, but I'll tell it again. I grew up in the church, had this church in Minneapolis. My uncle was a pastor. My dad was associate pastor. And at our church, there'd be a song. Somebody passed the plate and somebody'd sing a song. And I did a little bit of music theater, so they picked me to do a song. Oh, gosh. So I practiced like crazy. It's going to be my big thing. It's a big church, 2,000 people in the church. So I get up there and I'm ready to come out. I'm ready to go. I walk out. I look. I see my friends and my family right there. My brain leaves my body. I can't even think of a single word to the song. And the piano player's playing the song. Like, go ahead, start any time. And I'm looking over and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Do I just start making sounds and maybe the words will come? Do I want to burst into tears, run off, be totally embarrassed, or just walk off without saying anything? Somebody else have to say anything? That doesn't sound like a good idea. So here's what I did. It changed my whole life. I said, excuse me, stop. I'm 18 when I did this, right? I said, excuse me, stop. He stops. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I've forgotten all the words to the song. Have a great service and enjoy your Sunday, and walked off with a big smile on my face. And they gave me like a half of a standing ovation. They were laughing, falling off their chairs. Afterwards, in the little lobby, they're patting me on the shoulder. That was the best no song I've ever heard. Unbelievable. I got more feedback from handling it than if I would have sang it the best I could. I was like, huh. So I'll tell you what's happened to me. Over and over and over and over and over, 100 times. One, I have an incredibly high risk tolerance. Here's why. One, I'll just handle it. If it doesn't work out, I'll handle it. And two, I've worked on my skills enough that my skills are a foundation. That if something doesn't work out, I have earning power. And so do you. You've got earning power. You can earn. So I'll tell a few things that I maybe haven't told you guys. They came out with a videotape in my company And it was the first time there was like a professional VHS cassette that would tell the story of the company. It wasn't a link, it was a videotape. It's $15 for this videotape. And there were celebrities on it. It was fancy. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm going to get 100 of these. So I contact the person. Hey, if I get 100, can I get them for less than $15? They said, nope, $15, no discounts. What? Come on. A blank VHS was like $2. It can't cost you 15. I want to get 100. $1,500? Back when 1,500 was real money? And they said, nope, sorry. So I contacted a friend of mine who was in the production business. He was a lighting grip on the movie Purple Rain. He didn't know anything about making films, but he knew a little bit from the lighting aspect. I said, see, here's this video. Can we make a better version? How much would it cost to make a better version? And we came up with a price, and we figured it out. I released this tape. Oh, my gosh. And that turned into like a $3 million a year business. It was the hottest tape in the world. And you know what we did? The company would have a convention every 4 months. So I was distributor with the company. We would rent a big convention hall the night before the convention, the Thursday night before the convention, and we'd host a free training, and we would debut the next version of our tape. Okay? So I rented the Baltimore Arena and brought in Tony Robbins for free. I'm 26. I'm 27. I didn't have the money. I just hoped that the money would figure itself out, which it did. I rented the Louisiana Superdome before a New Orleans convention. And I did an all-day training with 22 trainers, each doing a half an hour training. I mean, show me somebody who would do that. Crazy talk. So, I mean, and it's repeated over and over and over in my life. When the pandemic hit, first of all, nobody thought we could do what we did in Network Marketing Pro. We do these events called GoPro. I did the first event 14 years ago, 200 people at the Monte Carlo Hotel, which is now the Park MGM. 200 people for 3 days. Okay? Had Harvey McKay and different my friends in there. The next year was 400. The next year was 800. And then I said, you know what? Let's go big. And nobody thought we could do this because everybody's like, you can't bring network marketers from all over the world into the same room. They're going to recruit each other. It's going to be just a mess. But we decided we were going to do it. And we went after it. I brought in Gary Vaynerchuk. We went from 800 to 2,400. 800 was at Green Valley Ranch, and 2,400 was at the Mirage. And then we went 4,000, then 6,000, then 8,000. Then we outgrew that, and we went over to the MGM Garden Arena where they do all these big concerts and stuff. We're renting the MGM Garden Arena, and I'm doing an event, and I'm spending $2-3 million to host an event and hope people would show up. That's where I met Sean and Michelle. They were at one of those events. And guess what? I mean, the biggest one, we brought in Tony Robbins, which was $500,000. We brought in Richard Branson, Sir Richard Branson, which was $400,000. We brought in Pitbull, which was $300,000. We had the Tenors. We had 18,000 people in the convention center. $4 million budget. Freaking bananas. And we were charging like, $200, $300 for a ticket, for a regular ticket. I remember I had one person say, well, I have all kinds of suggestions. You should do this and this and this and this and this. I said, look, my ticket costs $4 million. Your ticket costs $200. So I'm going to decide what happens inside the room if that's okay with you. Or go ahead. I'll pay $200 and we'll flip it around. You take the $4 million, I'll come to your event. I'm in. But show me. Show me somebody. Guess why? One, I'd figure it out. And two, if it fell flat on its face, I'd earn myself back to where I needed to be. So we're rolling along, doing about, I don't know, 10,000 a year. We settled into MGM Garden Arena because beyond that was too crazy. And then the pandemic hit. And like, we had sold 7,000 tickets to the next year's event. And we're like, what are we going to do? So we built the world's most outrageous studio for $20 million. Money we did not have. Okay? We committed to this. We did not have $20 million. And we had 4 months from time of decision to having a $20 million studio built from scratch in the middle of the pandemic. My wife, she went and built the studio. I went and sold tickets. I sold 58,000 tickets at $200. And we figured it out. Unbelievable. So we have this incredible $25 million studio now. Show me somebody who would do it. Now, I'm telling you, taking big swings, why am I sharing all these big crazy things with you? Because I was a C- student with 18 jobs who was in network marketing and decided to take big swings. And I'm still taking big swings. I'm stretching and growing in ways. I'm putting myself in rooms and getting myself in environments where I'm purposely staying uncomfortable. So, Michelle was like, who wants to get uncomfortable? Almost nobody. Almost nobody wants to get uncomfortable. But I'm addicted now to the big swing. And I'm comfortable with it. If the only way I could make money was to be involved in your company, guess how many lines I'd get started. Guess what the goals would be that I would set. Guess how many people I would be bringing to the event. Guess how many lives I would help by growing a team to be able to move your products out into the world. You've already won the lottery. You just have to cash the ticket. And you cash the ticket by doing the stuff. Not by being here, but by doing something. And some of you are like, yeah, just, come on. Easy, Tiger. I've been in this company for 15 years, and, I've seen a thing or two. I get it. But maybe you've accepted a smaller vision for your future than what you could. Some of you are absolute giants. And you're only showing the world 2% of who you are. And I don't know why. It's different for all of us. But what if you flexed one time? What if you flexed for 1 year and you showed 100% of what you were worth? What would be the result of that? Is there any real downside to bringing all you have for a year? What would the downside of that be? You're going to grow regardless, right? How many lives could you touch? What kind of example would you be to people, especially those of you who've been around here for a minute? How much fun would you have? So maybe get uncomfortable in a good way. Maybe get around people that are going to push you. Maybe put yourself in potentially embarrassing situations and put a smile on your face and deal with it. It's like, hey, this screwed up. Guess what? I missed. My goals, I can't remember one that I've hit. Because they're always bigger than my reach. I don't feel bad about it. If I reach this as far as I can go, but my goal's a little bit higher, then once I get there, then I'm going to reach again and again and again and again. And I read this great book called The Gap and the Gain just recently. And here's what it means. And it's really, really good, especially for you. Marissa's reading it now. The Gap and the Gain. Sometimes as entrepreneurs, there it is right there. As entrepreneurs, there's this gap between where we are and where we want to be. And we're always kind of frustrated because we're never quite there. And if you focus on that gap, you're going to be frustrated a lot. But keep the gap so it stretches you, but focus also on the gain. Where did you start? And where are you today? Some of you have done amazing things. The fact that you're standing here is a miracle. You know, the obstacles that you've gone through could be a best-selling movie. And you're here. So, look, I'm grateful for the gain that I've had, but I also love the gap. I don't use it to beat myself up. I use it to push me to go bigger. If I've learned anything, especially in the last, 3 years or so, is I spent my whole life playing in the kiddie games. Really. There's levels to this shit. There just is. There's stuff that you can unlock. There's places you can go. You get past minimum disease. You surround yourself with great people or no people while you're growing. You decide. And you set a higher standard than anybody else. Like Michael Jordan, the reason why he said he did well is he never accepted the standards of any of the coaches he ever worked for. He always exceeded them all. I would wish the same for you. So, I've gone a little bit over, and we didn't get time for questions and answers, sorry. But next time, if you want to have some Q&A next time, I'm happy to do that. I would also tell you, listen, how many of you are already inside of GoPro Insider? Put a 1 in the chat if you're already a member there. And throw it on a scale 1 to 10. How's that helping you in your business? If you're not a member, let me just tell you, if you want somebody to push you, if you want to get an environment, and it's like 7 minutes a day on average, a video message delivered to you every single day, let me push you. I promise you, you get inside of that GoPro Insider, I will not let you play small. Okay, it's $9 a month. It's nothing. I'm raising it to $15 a month next month, just so you know. But it's $9 a month. It's nothing. 30 cents a day. You'll get on 7 minutes a day. That's about 42 hours of training, content, encouragement, belief building, skills, strategy, support, leadership. 42 hours a year, but delivered in bite-sized chunks. Okay. Go to GoProInsider.com if you want to be a member there. I would highly recommend it. You cannot lose. Try it. $9. Try it. If you don't like it, cancel. If you find somebody who'll push you to go faster, find them. Please. In the meantime, I'll do my best to push you and have you step into your potential. You have a great gift with your company. Like I said, you've won the lottery. Go cash the ticket. It's there. You just got to go do your piece added to what you already have. And not only will it help you, it'll help a lot of other people. So, mad love. And Susie, you're getting your steps in while you're doing this. Mad respect to that. Wish me all the best because I...
All right, guys, let me get my camera back on here since I hit it during that. All right. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that. That's one that I could watch over and over and over again because it's just got so many just key truths inside of that share that he gave there. So much wisdom, right? So one of the things that I would love to offer to you as part of Team Freedom Reigns, and if you're one of our crossline besties like Hagen here, we would love to hear where you're going to really swing for the fence for the rest of this year, and where you're going to get uncomfortable, be willing to take the risks, and maybe be embarrassed a little bit, right? Like he was talking about, because that's where your growth happens. That's where the magic happens. And I know that we're going to be stepping up and really swinging hard for the fence too, planning on flexing. I liked what he talked about for that 1 year of flex. Just go for it all for a year and everything can change. So we're super excited to see y'all at Global Convention. If you're not registered, make sure you get registered. And don't forget, make sure that you're promoting the flash sale that is going on through the rest of March. Details are in the hub. Plus, if you go to your replicated website, each of the products that is part of the flash sale says up to 30% off on the actual page for the products. Okay. All right, guys, thanks for being here with me, and say a prayer for Nandi that it gets better, because I don't like doing these things without him. But we appreciate you guys being here. God bless. Take care. Bye.